Thank you. I'm recreating this piece into a larger piece. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's not looking so bad so far. It's kind of difficult to get these really tiny details, but I'm going to try my best, and hopefully you can at least see the likeness of the original one. Okay. So if I disappear for little periods of time, I'm mixing my colors. I need to figure out if it's possible to stream here on IG live using two cameras. That way I can show the colors and mixing them and stuff. And I'm not sure if that's possible though. Right on, I haven't won any real large pieces yet. You haven't sold any large pieces? Or made large pieces? I think this one is, this one's 20 by 24. Yeah, it's 20 by 24. And, don't feel bad. I haven't sold any really large pieces either. I don't know. I would consider this to be like medium sized. I have some canvases that are 36 by 30 and 38 by 40, and those are, or 30 by 48, and those are really big to me. But I don't really see myself painting any larger than that, just because it would be so costly in the shipping. Perhaps in the future it won't be much of an issue, but for now I'm kind of staying away from it. What kind of work do you do? Or I should say, what kind of art do you make? Leave it, whatever. I have to be cool with the fact that this isn't going to be exactly the same. I do abstract acrylic, haven't sold any yet. I just love it. Yeah, I work with acrylics too, but on occasion I'll do oils. And actually, when I first got into painting, it was with oils, and I just loved it. How buttery it was, how thick it was, and it was like frosting a cake, or it is like frosting a cake. And so I live in Arizona and it's really hot in the summers. And I have to paint outside. Otherwise, if I paint inside, even with fans and windows open and lots of ventilation, it's just I get headaches with the potency of the smell. It's actually not that strong, but if I'm, inhaling it for a long time, then it kind of makes me a little dizzy, I guess. So I told myself I'm gonna paint acrylics indoors in the summertime and then oils outside in the winter, or in my garage. I'm in my garage right now. And occasionally I'll have people ask me or request that I do an oil for them. So yeah, I was in that same boat for a while. Didn't sell a single piece, and then I started running ads and growing my following, and it's not like crazy big right now. It's actually a really small following, but compared to artists that have made it and stuff. But of course, I had to remind myself that they have a lot of more years on me, a lot more experience, and I have to be patient. So once I started accepting that and just kept doing it, kept running ads, kept painting, kept posting, I started to get sales. So it just happens. It helps if you have a website too, but right now I don't have a website, and I'm actually working on it. I'm actually working on a website right now, and hopefully I'll have it up in about a month. But basically it's everything in its own time. I've learned a lot, and I also have a lot to learn. Hi, Kelly. So I'm recreating this piece. It's a really small piece. I believe it's 5x7. And then this is a 20x24. So I'm hoping it turns out to where you can actually tell that this is the painting. For sure, patience is going to be key for me right now. I'm using Etsy. My husband and I share the shop. Oh, that's cool. Is your husband an artist too? Oops. Do you ever get hair in your paint? Or other weird things? Dust? Dry paint? Yeah, he's so creative, and so it's like it's his outlet from the main job. He's also a writer. His career job right now is an assistant dean at. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. It is hard to be patient. People keep saying to me, "Be patient, be patient. It's gonna happen," and I'm like, "I want it to happen now already." But I guess it's like with anything, you have to kind of not so much like build up your resume, but people have to see that you know what you're doing, you've been doing it for a while, or they have to like see you on video, or they some in some form or another they have to trust you before they start buying from you. And it just happens like that, I guess. Especially online, because you know, you never know what you're gonna come across. There's a lot of scams out there, and actually, I got really excited recently because this one guy, he wrote me, he emailed me, which I had never received an email before, like as an art inquiry, and he was like, my wife's anniversary's coming, or our anniversary's coming up, and I want to get some art for her. She really likes receiving art as a gift. And I was like, oh, right on, that's awesome. And he asked me for my bank account information. He asked me if I would accept a cashier's check. And I was like, oh man, this smells funky from the get-go. And so I was like, no, I only accept Venmo or PayPal right now. I don't feel comfortable doing the whole cashier's check thing or giving away my bank account information. Like, I had to be respectful. I didn't want to, be mean or anything. But also I realized this guy was not serious about buying art. And, we had a pretty normal conversation as far as, the pieces that he wanted and what kind of art his wife liked. And I feel so stupid now, because now that I think back, because I sent him pictures of my art that, I don't know, I shouldn't have sent him these quality images that I sent him. I realize now, oh great, he probably, was just looking to get the images to make money off the images. So, I guess it's a beginner's mistake, but yeah, I got so excited because he wanted to buy like 4 paintings, and at first I was skeptical. I was like, there's no way this guy wants to pay 4 paintings. It was like almost $2,000 or something that he was, worth of art that he wanted to acquire from me. And so I was just like, wow. I got so excited, and then it ended up being a total scam. So, yeah, crap happens, I guess. But I've actually never thought about going on Etsy, just because of some things that I've heard friends say about it, like bad experiences they had. That they take a cut from you if you sell your art within a certain time frame. And I don't know, it feels like it's not right for me, because I pay for my own ads, so I feel like I don't know for sure. If I sold something through Etsy, I wouldn't know if the customer or the collector found me through Etsy's marketing, or if they found me through my marketing. So I don't know. That's kind of something that I don't know if it's like, if it tells you in your analytics like where the sale came from or what, but And I know a lot of people first start out on Etsy and they love it, and it's a great way to build your name and everything. But I don't know, since I found out about that, I've been hesitant to go with Etsy. I already went over this blue here with thicker strokes of paint, but I wanted to drag some purple lines through it. And since the layer underneath is already dry, it's not really gonna drag anything. Stepped away for a sec. Did I miss anything? Not really. I mean, I'm still painting. I think maybe you missed when I was talking about Etsy, that I didn't know if I should trust it. You know that thing that they do where they take a cut from your sales, and I mean they mark it for you, but I was saying that I run ads. I market myself already, and I wouldn't know. I was saying I wouldn't know if the sale came from my ad or theirs, and I don't think it's fair for them to charge if the sale came from my ad or my social media or wherever. Do you know if they have analytics that tells you if the person, the collector, the buyer, came from their marketing or if it came from an outside source? I wonder. Because that's the reason why I haven't gone with Etsy. I was about to, I really was. And then I learned about that they had just changed something. And I was like, ooh, I don't like that. Not sure if my internet is acting up or what. I doubt Etsy cares if the collector found me on his social media or not. They'll just take their cut. Right now it gets us a shop without building and paying for it. That's true. That is true. I guess I'd have to figure out some numbers because I don't know. I've heard that it's really good for starting out and everything, like you said. But depending on how much they take out from each sale, it might just balance itself out. It might be the same cost to run your own website. Um, I've been building my website with Squarespace, and it hasn't been bad so far. I think I'm up to about $60 a month with the options that I chose, but of course that's your domain, the checkout system, and so I've been doing stuff like figuring out pictures and writing a bio. I'm also waiting on an interview that I did on a podcast. Her name is Jamie Slutsky, and it's called Expand Online. And well, actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but between you and me, it should be posted pretty soon here in a couple weeks. And I wanted to include that on my website. So I've kind of been waiting around for that too. But yeah, I just feel like, I don't know if it's like a control thing or what, but I feel like it's more in my hands, I guess. I have my own analytics and everything to tell me what I'm doing, how I'm getting people to the website and all that stuff. Actually, this is too big now. Yeah, and when I first started looking into getting a website, I was like totally discouraged because I thought, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like $500 a month or $1,000 a month. And then I started like really diving into it, and I was surprised that it was more affordable than I thought. And then there's other platforms too, like Wix and WordPress.
There's e-commerce. And there's e-commerce the experts use. Web experts count on network solutions for the tools they need to succeed
And
online.
the cool thing about that too is that you can have your own
Network solutions. Use what the experts
you can
use.
have your own plugins, the little icons that people can go to your social media. Also, you can set up a mailing list, and people can subscribe to your mailing list right there on the website. That's what I really liked about it, because when I first started, I had a little mailing list going with like, I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 people. And I kind of challenged myself. It was a 100 days of painting challenge, and I totally failed. I guess I didn't so much as fail, but I got sick, and then I lost the momentum, and it didn't end up happening how I wanted it to. So I thought, well, I'll just apologize to these people and come back later. And I thought, well, I'll just wait for my website. That way it's not weird just asking for people's emails to send them stuff about art. And when I first started doing it, I was showing pictures of my art that I wasn't showing online or on social media. So I would make art specifically for that mailing list, and then I would like write a little story to go with it, just so that it wouldn't be only pictures of art, make it a little bit more interesting. And people liked it. It was different, I guess. to the music. Okay, there it is.
There's web security. And there's web security the experts use. Web experts count on network solutions for the tools they need to succeed online. Now get 30% off site-wide. Terms and conditions apply. Network solutions. Use what the experts use.
I did this kind of weird swirly thing here, and it has some Naples yellow around it. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, which colors did I put underneath before I can go on top with the colors that I streaked through that, so that it drags it and kind of mixes it. It's kind of weird how I did this, but anyways, how do you think it's going to look compared to the small piece? I think it's looking okay. I don't know if you can really tell yet, but I'm just taking it little sections by sections. That was kind of hard to do. This little area right here, I don't know if you could see it because of the text, but let me see. I do this. So this little area where it's got this like a navy teal streaked through it. To tell you the truth, I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but I feel like I'm getting most of the colors right, for the most part. And then there's a little bit up here that's kind of mixed with these. So what I'm trying to do is, oh, thank you. I'm trying, I guess. So what I'm trying to do is, if maybe you could see how thick some of the paint is on there. Let me see if I could get a little bit of a profile. It's on there pretty thick. So this little piece took a long time to dry, at least 6 months. And I kind of didn't really care about it. It was kind of like a trial piece, hence why it's so small too. And I set it aside to dry. Thought it was dry already because it was dry to the touch, but I didn't realize really how long oil paint takes to dry. And so what happened was on the outside it was dry, but on the inside it was still wet. And if you can see these dots here, it used to be just the dots, and then maybe I put something on top of it, I don't know, because it smudged there. This little thing got squashed. So I also have my tablet off to the side with the original picture of this when I first painted it, so that I can see at least what shape it was. Yeah, and a lot of these little areas just totally got blobbed out. I don't know. I know now that it's gonna take a long time to dry, and I'm not going in so thick with this piece. There are areas that are a little thicker than others, but I'm definitely not gonna be blobbing like a huge thing of paint on there, because then I won't be able to give it to the collector for like a year at least. And that's one of the drawbacks with oil paint, because you really don't know how long it's going to take to dry. It really depends on how thick the oil paint is on there. Especially for me, I was just starting out with this piece. It wasn't the first painting I had ever painted, but it was one of the first impasto paintings that I made, and I was playing it by ear to see how long it would dry, and I guess I got impatient with it, thought it was already dry, set it aside, and it got a little ruined. So now I know. And I really like this oil paint that I use. I think it's a great brand to get started with. It's called Lucas Studio Oils. Looks like this. Probably seeing it backwards, but I get all of my art supplies on jerrysartorama.com, and I've noticed that continuously I've compared prices with other art sellers, and Jerry's is continuously surprising me with their sales, and I can just depend on getting a better price than anywhere else pretty much most of the time. Other times I'll just wait around for a new sale, but they constantly have sales for different kinds of supplies. thought, but what I was saying about the oils is that they're great to get started with, and surprisingly, they dry a lot faster than any other oil brand I've tried. And I believe it's because of the beeswax that they make it with. It just dries, like the next day it's already dry, like on the outside at least, which helps with layering paint. It's important to, I guess, wait till that layer's dry if you're gonna go over it, or at least somewhat dry, so that it doesn't smudge or what do they call it, like create mud. So for example, I did these yesterday, and I'm not gonna smudge them too hard, but just over the surface they're dry, and that helps when I'm going over doing layers. If this was any other oil paint, I would have gotten paint all over myself. So these are great oils to first start out with for sure. Also, another thing I should mention about them, they are significantly cheaper than other oils, and I think it's because, on the Jerry's Artorama website and in some of their videos, it says that they get it from Lucas themselves. There's no middleman, so they're able to discount it, they're able to sell it to you at a really great price. Gosh, I wish they were paying me to say this. But yeah, I really like this brand of oils. It fits well with me because I'm kind of impatient at times, and I just want to paint. Like if I'm in the mood to paint, I don't want to not paint just because I'm waiting for something to dry. And that's why I like acrylics too, because they dry so fast. But I only like acrylics for abstract art because if I'm doing something that's like a still life or something that I need to do blending of the colors, forget it. I can't do it with acrylics because by the time I mix the color and go back in, it's already dry. Or if I pre-mix them and then go to blend, it won't blend. It's dry already. Like, it just dries so fast. And I know there's mediums that slow down the drying time, but I mean, what's the point? So I work with it, and I work as fast as I can with the acrylics. They should pay you, but I appreciate the share for sure. Yeah. I always have acrylic all over. I'm just a messy painter. I use a lot of tools for my... Oh, yeah, me too. I should be wearing gloves, but yeah, I get paint all over myself when I paint. When it's acrylics, I don't care because it washes off with just water and rubbing it off if you wanted to. But, yeah, definitely oils. Like, it has to be a special soap or detergent to get it off. So, yeah. So Instagram's going to kick me off in a minute. So if I disappear, that's why. I'm going to take a break and then come back. But thank you so much for joining and watching. And, yeah, I'll be back in a second.